Hi, my name is Daddy Odin, and today I will teach you how to play Templar Assassin under Ancient rank. A lot of the guides out there are focused and given by these immortal or divine players, and they talk about item builds and itemizations and how to play the game with the tempo that the other divine and immortal players bring out. But if you are in the trench where it's a Crusader, Archon, or Legend, you don't have necessarily the proper teammates for you to play well. So today I'm going to teach you some techniques or build itemizations to help you gain a severe advantage and most likely win your games. I have made a I was in a call with a friend who played TA. He had a really bad lane, or he didn't lane properly, and he lost the game, and he doesn't know why he lost the game. I'm going to be including some of the clips from the video. To watch these kind of videos, please visit my Twitch at twitch.tv at Odin Tasty. First, let us talk about first items or itemizations. So first of all, get some regen, especially if you're going against a bad lineup. I usually like to get an Iron Branch, one favorite fire. Ask your supports, don't be shy, be nice when asking. Be like, please can I have 2 tangos or something like that, so that they give you 2 tangos. If you're going into a lane with an unfavored matchup, then try to pick up a salve early on, because getting salves on the courier takes more time, and you don't want to be delayed. But if it's a favorable matchup, try to get an Iron Branch and get a Fairy Fire, and try to get close to your raid band. I have seen some people like Thompson also skip the Fairy Fire, which I should not have bought before this, but we still have gold, so it's fine. And you can buy a raid band. Doing this, you usually can get a raid band and a Iron Branch with the starting money that you have. Raid band gives you 5 attack, 1.5 armor, and 5 agility, 2 strength, 2 intelligence. So it is much more better than buying 2 slippers and 1 circlet, or 2 circlets and 1 slipper. You can also do that, but getting this raid band will help you in the long run and help you get lasted much faster in the early game. After you get your raid band and your Iron Branch, make sure you regularly bring regen. Predict when you want regen and try to get this regen early on. This can be the use of clarities, this can be with the use of healing salves, you might never know. So make sure you get enough regen in your lane. If you feel like your opponent, which can be like a co-op, maybe a puck, or someone who can harass you more and try to get the refraction shield off on you, try to pre-buy your regen and make sure you have regen in the lane. Whenever you're low, or whenever your regen, especially like clarity, is going on, please go and visit these camps in the jungle side. These are for you to farm here. And these camps can be taken if at 2 minutes. So all you need at this point, you should have a couple of farm where you at least have Blightstone or something like that to help you get more farm. Some people go for the double raid band build, but I think it is not required, especially because of the change that has been made to the raid bands. You can still go, but it just sets you a bit back. But try to get a Blightstone as early as possible, complete your boots, and go for the Deso Blink. As soon as you get the Deso in your timing, please do not go and fight the enemy, unless it's a favorable fight where you know that you can kill 1 or 2 people and you will live. If you have doubts that you might die in this fight, avoid fighting. You are actually helping your team by not going into these fights. If you go before you have a Deso, or even before the Blink, you're griefing your team, and this might lead to losing the game. The item timings for Deso Blink should be around the 13 to 15 minute mark when you reach this Deso Blink. So all your purpose for this first 15 minutes in the game is to flash farm waves. Now let us go look at the skill build of how you should play TA. When playing TA, the first spell I usually try to get in my lane is my side blades. Side blades are really useful if you want to harass people and you want to deny last hit at the same time. Next, I usually try to get refraction. Then for the third spell, this is an optional thing. You can either go for meld, or you can go for extra point in side blades. Due to the recent change to meld, and if it's a match favorable to you, definitely go meld because it removes 5 armor and it also helps you take stacks. Then it's all towards maxing out your refraction and your side blade. You don't need to increase your meld. Just make sure that at level 6 you get the trap, so that you can keep vision and avoid any kind of ganks that might happen to you. When you're playing Templar Assassin, follow these 3 simple cycles. 1. Burst out your lane wave. Try to get as many side blades as possible, and make sure that your enemy does not deny your creep. And whatever you do not spend time here or sitting here idly. After that, go to small camp. Usually this happens around the 40-second mark, so try to nuke it out, use your refraction and meld if needed, and try to kill it. You will kill it before the restacking time. Again, you can go back to your mid where the creep comes, and you see that you missed the CS on one creep, but you were able to get the XP for it. So you're back in time, and you just nuke this wave. After nuking the wave, try to go back to the jungle over here. After that, you just take it. Use your meld if needed, and your refractions as well, so you do as much damage as possible. At this point, you will have your Blightstone as well as your power threads. Again, you see that the wave is back here. You almost made it, but you can use side blades to get the last hits. Make sure you get them all. Usually, when you're clearing the wave, try to blast them and nuke them away. Then you go back to the small camp, and you take the small camp. All you do in the early game, for the first 15 minutes actually, is that you keep doing this process of going to camp, to wave, to camp. Every time you keep doing this, especially early on, from minute 2 or 3, you are able to keep getting more CS than your mid. So even if your mid laner is able to get the CS that you're letting him have without contesting, he needs to be sitting there in place, not rotating anywhere, keeping pressure only in mid because your creeps are pushing into the mid tower and it's doing a lot of damage. And in this meantime, what are you doing? You're farming. You're getting so much gold that you can hit these key timings, and you're getting into the snowball frenzy mode. You come back, you miss 1 CS, just make sure that you're pulling this in this way so that you don't even miss that CS. Get the last hits, auto attack it, make sure you get the CS. And look at that, this camp is or reappears. Make sure you come here, take the camp, make sure all the side blades connect onto them, and you take it. Then you see that the wave is coming, and your range creep is also doing damage, and your creeps are doing damage. You take the wave, blow the wave out, and you will be in time for the next stacking. Sometimes, like here now, it's I mean, you're making it right on time to take it because it just got stacked. But as you can see, as you're reaching up to that 10-minute mark or that 15 or 7-minute mark, you seem to be doing a lot more damage than what you used to do at 2 minutes. When you feel comfortable and you know that there's no kill threat from the mid laner, try to go take his stack as well. You can go and deny him of farming this if he does go for farming this by coming, simply killing it, and you can go back. Now you only missed 1 CS as well, but you're able to kill 3 camps essentially. And you come, push the wave, use side blades, and kill it. Never wait for this siege card or try to auto attack kill the siege card. The siege card is tankier than usually all the creeps, but it takes more time. It is not effective to get that extra 60 gold. You kill it, and then by the time you go, the siege card is still alive. Sometimes it might die, depending on where it is. And you go, blast a nuke wave, use refractions when needed, especially when farming the jungle. And then if the mid laner is not here, or he's somewhere else, try to go take his camp, which is also stacked again. Make sure to have enough vision in this area, because this area is where you want to farm. This is your area which you need to dominate. And as you can see, it's 11 minutes. I know there's no enemy in the enemy side, but if there is an enemy, and if he chooses to roam around, especially any kind of roamers like Klings or something like that, who need to go into other lanes to kill people, are essentially forced to stay mid to defend the tower. And if they don't defend the tower, that means you're getting easy tower mid. Next, we will see how to use your traps. Traps can be used in different ways. 1, it can be used offensively to slow people down effectively. It has a 30% min slow and a 60% max slow. It affects for 4 seconds, so you can use it to get on someone else. The common ways that traps are used is especially using it on the sides so that any ganks can be noticed. They can be kept in a place like this, or they can be kept in here so any backward ganks can be noticed, or kept in this location so that you can see any kind of supports moving around. Traps do not reveal smoke, so if they are smoke, just be vigilant of the map and be aware where they might be. Some people keep traps here, some people keep traps there, and some even keep in the creep waves to make sure that no one comes and kills your creep wave. If you follow this pattern for the first 15 minutes, you should be able to outfarm anyone in your lane. The usual marking is that at 10 or 11 minutes, you should have at least 100 to 110 CS on TA. In this way, you're essentially outfarming the mid hero, whoever it is, and you get this monetary advantage over all the heroes in the map. As soon as you get the Deso Blink, make sure you get active. Don't get greedy active, but get active with your supports. Call on your supports, ask them if they can come for a gank. Sometimes in a game, it is unavoidable that people don't respond back to you and they don't coordinate with you, especially when you're in solo pubs. In this scenario, make sure you just go where your supports are already there in the lane, or wherever they're trying to go to ward, so that you can go with them, they use them as bait, and essentially turn it into a kill. TA does a lot of damage early on, especially with the Deso Blink. Some people also go for Deso Blink Orchid, but make sure you get the Deso Blink. The only time you're allowed to fight, or essentially go aggressive to fight, unless they're diving your T2 anywhere on the map, is when you have that blink. As soon as you have the blink, make sure you get aggressive, and make sure you notice who to kill and who not to engage. Every game, it is unavoidable that you have a counter, especially because of the new way Dota has its drafting. It's luck based, and sometimes your carry does not pick, or your offlane does not pick, and sometimes your support does not pick, and you lose gold, and you're forced to pick in the second or first phases even. So when this happens, and you pick a TA and your counter, make sure you do not interact with the counter until you have items to overpower him or neutralize the counter effect. This can be counters like Quap, Viper, Kunkka, and even Invoker. Usually when you're dealing with these kind of heroes which have spells that can counter you, make sure you get your Deso Blink and you get your Orchid before initiating on them. The main targets you want to go for are the supports and squishy cores who cannot escape you. These can be heroes like CMs, Lions, Shadow Shamans. Just be careful when you're going against the Shadow Shaman or Lion. They can hex you if you are not able to burst them right away. I hope this was really informative for you guys, and I hope you gain more MMR following these three simple tactics in your laning phase. All the TA needs is to make sure that your first 15 minutes are solid and golden. At this 15-minute mark, you should have your boots, your Deso, and your blink. And if you have these items, you should have a really big chance of winning your games. Some games are unavoidable because of teammates griefing or teammates picking techie safe lane or even IO safe lane. And in those games, you can't do anything. Just expect that your enemy that you're going against is much more weaker than you, or is much more crazier or much more griefier than you, and you somehow win the game. But 60 to 70% of the time, if you follow the three simple tactics of bursting the wave, going to safe camp and medium camp, and when you know that you have the power to go and take the enemy wave and coming back to bursting. If you follow this same pattern, you should not lose any games with TA. I'm Daddy Odin. Peace out.